guys think our GFE went?
I thought it was really important that we discussed the roommate topic because everyone is like going to have a roommate going into college, and it is like their first time since they're freshmen, and like they're gonna be like dealing with this for the first time, so it might help having people who have dealt with it in the past, like obviously we did last year, to talk to them about it.
Also, this is the person you're living with for a year. You want to make sure you have a working relationship with them.
Yeah, so for the actual GFE, I think we could have had more time for discussion, because there were times in the actual in the thing that we could have let people talk more instead of giving our own opinion. But that just comes down to time. So
I also think it would have been nicer if they could have built on each other more, if we were able to show a presentation and give them ideas and then have them build off of it, because then they could learn from each other more. I mean, we kind of did it, but I think that we just needed a little more time.
Yeah, kind of let the class carry the discussion.
Yeah.
It's also kind of hard to gauge what they learned to actually get to facilitate our entire classroom session that we normally have. So it was kind of difficult for me, at least, to understand what they actually would have learned in a real life situation.
we hope they learned something. But I think what we did well is that we had them talk to each other in the groups, and I think that really helped them just bounce more ideas off each other and discuss how they would deal with the situation if they were more or less confrontational, depending on personality.
Yeah, and I think that even though we didn't get to talk to them one-on-one to see how much they learned, it was kind of evident that they did learn, because they were able to bounce off of each other. Even though it was only a short period of time, they were able to talk to each other and be like, well, I see what you're saying, but I would have done it a little bit differently.
And I also think that maybe we could have had some time at the end to kind of let them critique our solutions, because we don't want them to think that our solutions are the only thing that we can do. Everyone's different and can think of different ways to solve problems.
Yeah, I think that we kind of could have let them speak more about their own, but we did have them say their ideas, but it's kind of a fine line between us giving them ideas versus us lecturing them. So letting them have the time to have that discussion between each other without us being involved in it would have been helpful for them.
Just to bring it back to the main thing, if there was anything that was vague or ambiguous, maybe we could have stressed communication, more ways to get assertive versus think passive aggressive and keeping letting things fester. So maybe in that way we could have been a little bit more clear and specific. But overall, I think our content was pretty good.
I didn't see you there. I was just reading Students Helping Students, a guide for peer education on college campuses. This is one of the many resources our group used for our group facilitation experience. Bloom's taxonomy was one of the very important resources that we used to develop our learning objectives. Each of our SLOs fit into the categories of apply, understand, and evaluate/create. To facilitate discussion in our activity, we used case study and small group strategies, which we took from the Creative Teaching Strategies reading. We used the 4Cs reading to organize our lesson plan and decide which portion to include in our 20-minute class presentation.
So from our presentation, we hope that our colleagues learn how to manage conflict and how different conflicts could use different approaches.
Yeah, one of our goals was to point out in most situations the best way to approach the situation would be to engage in face-to-face conversation rather than text or anything, any other way of doing anything.
We do think that we met our goals. We saw this most clearly through the groups reporting on their solutions to the conflicts handed to them.
Yeah, so the groups would explain how they thought they should have handled it, and then the other groups would share how they may improve on the situation and what they may or may not have done differently.
Yeah, another piece of evidence was shown when groups would build off each other in differing solutions, showing that there are multiple ways to approach a conflict, and sort of how you go about solving something may depend on your personal characteristics and the seriousness of the situation.
Yeah, so we hope that students learned how to deal with conflict, either if they're confrontational or if they weren't confrontational.